So I was sitting in my quarterly leadership meeting where everyone had flown into Vegas for 2 days to talk about the next quarter and our goals for the company. And I stood there and I was listening to what they were saying, and I wanted to light my head on fire. What transpired next was a problem-solving process that I want to share with you because it unlocked $10 million to $12 million in annual revenue for us that we had not been able to unlock for 2 quarters because of one simple misdiagnosed problem. And so the purpose of this video is to hopefully get you to 1, avoid making that mistake, but 2, be able to use this framework so that you can solve the right problems in your business. So if you guys don't know my name is Alex Ramosi. I own acquisition.com. It's a portfolio of companies who do about $85 million a year. And the reason I make these videos is because a lot of people are broke and I don't want you to be one of them. All right. So inside of our quarterly meeting, for 2 quarters in a row, my sales manager set the goal that they wanted to add 6 more outbound reps. 2 quarters in a row. Quarter came, quarter left. Quarter came, quarter left. And this is the 3rd time that I'd been hearing them make this goal. And everyone was nodding their heads and writing them down, and it seemed like everything was hunky-dory. And I stopped and I was like, guys, we've had this goal for 2 quarters. Why do we expect it to be any different this time? To set the same goal and nothing's going to happen. And for context, the reason I said 10 to 12 million is because every outbound rep generates about $2 million a year in revenue for my business. And so for me to have 6 more reps is about $12 million. So I'm not just pulling that out of nowhere. That's where it comes from. Back to the story. I asked him, I was like, why weren't you able to do this? He's like, well, we lost a couple reps this last quarter, even though we hired some new ones, and we pretty much have the same amount as we had before. And I was like, and is that what happened the quarter before that too? And he's like, well, yeah. And I was like, then how are you going to solve this problem? He's like, I don't know. And then it hit me. I had been driving this guy and putting my pressure on this guy when he was not the constraint of the system. Let me explain. In every system, you have potential and you have constraints. Most entrepreneurs spend all their time trying to add potential to their business, thinking that they are solving the constraint. But we will always grow, any system will grow up to its constraint and no further. And so right now, your business has a constraint. You have to identify it. And what makes macro speed happen is not the frenziness and the frenetic energy. It's knowing which problems to solve in what order. And the example I'm going to give you is showing you exactly why that didn't happen for one of my companies for this specific channel we were marketing on, which is outbound. Had we identified this problem 2 quarters ago, we would have added 10 million to our top line for this year, which we won't have. So instead, we're going to get 1 quarter's worth of that. So maybe add 2 million or 2.5 million to top line when we should have added 10 or 12 because of this one problem. And from the outside, people are going to say, oh, well, it's because of X, Y, and Z, but they didn't diagnose the root problem. Do you know what it was? I'll tell you. So I then turned to my HR director and I said, how many people are you sending the sales manager per week? She was like, well, I sent him about 1 qualified candidate a week. And I was like, okay, how many interviews does it take you to send 1 qualified candidate? She said, it takes 5. I was like, okay, manager, how many of these final interviews does it take for you to get 1 person hired? And he was like, 4. And I was like, so it takes us 20 people that we got to get through to get 1 new outbound rep. He was like, yeah. It's like, okay. Now, given the churn that we had in the last quarter and 2 quarters, because just FYI for everybody, frontline positions in general tend to churn more than manager and leadership positions, just the name of the game. And I was like, okay, so what is our churn in that position? He was like, it's about 20% a quarter. I was like, okay, understood. Now, simple math here. If we have 10 people who are working outbound, that's not the number, but let's just say it's 10, and we lose 20%, then it means we're losing 2 people a quarter. If right now the process that you have gets us 1 new outbound rep per month and we're losing 2 a quarter, that means we would net 1 new person per quarter. That is going to be very short of our goal of 6. So what do we need to do? We need to fix the actual hiring process in order to meet the goal. And so what we did was I asked the HR director, I said, why are we doing these one-on-one? She's like, well, I thought we had to do that. Miscommunication, right? That's all it was. It was a miscommunication. So we don't need that for this position. What she now did, the solution to this problem was that she's setting up, she's still running the ads, she's still organizing the interviews, but she set them all up for the sales manager to do group interviews. And now he can do 5 group interviews for 1 hour per week. And now he can pick 1 or 2 of those people and get them onboarded quickly. And he can start hiring. He will be able to hit his goal in that way. And so the reason I tell this story is because I just missed out on a bunch of revenue that I should have been able to make because we were solving the wrong problem. All of the focus was on the sales manager and who he was bringing in and how he was training them, rather than, because that wasn't the constraint of the system, rather than what is the acquisition process for talent. And so I'll give you a framework that I wrote down somewhere that I'll probably share in another video, but it's something called the quad marketing calendar. Most people have no marketing calendar. Smart people have 1 or 2 marketing calendars. So the first marketing calendar, and you can draw this, you know what? I'll do it for you right now. All right, so the quad marketing calendar looks like this. Here you've got internal and you've got external. So here you have employees and you've got prospects. Internally, which is this way, you should be marketing to your employees so that you tell them about the vision and about the mission, about why you do what you do. This has to happen all the time so that people continue to want to work for you. Internally to your prospects, which are now customers over here, you need to continue to market them to get them to buy again and again, right? We need to keep them to keep buying. Over here, in external, for prospects, you need to get people to become customers. So we're marketing externally. Most people understand this one. This is the one that most people do. Most people don't do this one. Most people definitely don't do this one. And I'll tell you the one that people miss the most. This one. Is that they don't have an acquisition process for getting new talent. So just like you run ads, generate leads, nurture leads, set appointments, sell, fulfill, you should be able to run ads for new employees. You should be generating leads. You should be working those leads. You should be setting interviews, which are sales. You make job offers just like you make normal offers. And then the onboarding experience that you have for a customer is the onboarding experience that you have in parallel with an employee. And then just like you continue to ascend and resell your customers, you ascend and continue to manage your employees. These are parallel processes that happen in every business, and most people don't know about it. And you heard about it here first at the world's best YouTube channel in the world with the handsomest and most sickly, now Rona-ridden YouTuber out there. And this is called the Quad Marketing Calendar, and it was because we were missing this framework. My HR director did not understand this framework that we lost out on $10 to $12 million revenue, and I don't want you to do that, all right? And so the reason I made this video is so that you can recognize which of these 4 in the Quad Marketing Calendar you are not using, so that you can shore up that part of your business and ultimately scale it and make all of your wildest dreams come true. All right, my name's Alex Ramosi. Like I said, I'm at acquisition.com. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep being awesome. Bye.